right, guys, we are back, and now that we have the capitalization correct, we can introduce our player at the 6 o'clock position in the red from Team Liquid. It is Liquid NonY, who's retaken the moniker NonY after being Tyler for most of the last 2 years. And on the left side of the map, in the blue, from the team Evil Geniuses, they call him the Devil Terran. Check 6 Sleep calls him Catman. It is DeMusliM.
You resemble a cat.
He says he resembles a cat. Yeah, I love your Korean accent. It sounds very Russian.
Oh, I wasn't trying. I actually wasn't trying for an accent there, so now
really?
I feel doubly terrible.
Oh,
so,
all right. Well,
wow.
All right. Well, here let's talk about this map and this matchup. You've done it before, so I thought let's.
No, I actually wasn't trying. Now,
all right.
Yes.
Okay.
But,
so NonY was known. You're welcome. NonY was known in the beta for his Phoenix play, actually. Even in TVP, in fact, in Game 2 against TLO way back when, he went Mass Phoenix and Zealot Sentry on Kulas Ravine and actually ended up winning that game. So yeah, he was quite good with his Phoenixes back then. He still is good now, of course, but I'm really curious to see how he's going to play this, because he was a player that was really one of those top-tier players back when these maps were in the legitimate tournament rotation. So is he going to fall back to those strategies that won him a lot of games back then, or is he going to try to impress the current metagame on these older maps? It's going to be fascinating.
I've been waiting for our first two players to just be like, screw it. We're going to go ahead, and we're just going to play standard. We're not even going to change anything. We're just going to play
a lot,
totally standard. It has not.
Yeah.
This game, though, has a chance of becoming that. We have a 2 racks opening for DeMusliM, nothing out of the ordinary. And we'll see what NonY decides to do. I wouldn't expect a 1-gate expand. That would be a little brazen on this map. And indeed, he is adding in a second guess now. Could indicate tech. Could be Sentry expand. There's a lot of options with that.
In the a lot of the top players in the older tournaments were doing a lot of builds that kind of were sort of predecessors to what we see today. For instance, TLO, back in that tournament that we were talking about, I was watching some games from that earlier today. He was actually 1 racks gasless expanding in TVT way before like many other people did it. So there were some precursors to some of the very common builds these days. It looks like it is going to be, like you said, a 2 racks coming out of DeMusliM here, so he's going to put a lot of pressure on NonY. His expansion is going to come a lot later, but on this map, who cares?
Yeah, and there you go. Robo coming up now for NonY as well.
Going to play it very safe.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you want to do any sort of an expansion at all on Incineration Zone, then you have to play incredibly safe.
Well, I think we're probably going to see him put 2 more gateways down here, and then just go 3-gate Robo and kind of feel things out. And then expand ideally out of there, but defend most likely as well.
And let's see here
will we see a 3rd gateway?
It's, well, he's got the resources for it at the moment.
Maybe not.
Allocating that into some units, actually making another Zealot after the initial Stalker came out, and then Sentry right afterwards.
Did he start with the Stalker? I believe he did,
actually.
Yes, he did. Yeah, so Stalker, Zealot, Sentry. Okay. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and just stay on 2 gateways, confident in his control to be able to stop whatever DeMusliM is doing. Factor for DeMusliM, he's going to go for very quick medevacs, it looks like.
Even of the 1-base variety now. We do have an Immortal coming up for NonY as he's reinforcing with his additional units behind his Warp Gate research well along, almost ready to finish up.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And the thing is if you're going to do this 2 racks push early on, if they have a Sentry and an Immortal in good position, you're not going to be able to break them. It looks like, though, NonY almost looking like he wants to do some sort of aggression here. Oh, he catches a glimpse of that pylon, too.
Yeah, that immediately gets canceled as the units are starting to run back home now for NonY. He does have an Immortal out, but not a lot of gateway units to back it up. It would be crushed by that Bioforce, but once he gets even 1 more Warp in, he stands a lot better chance of taking that down. Yep,
NonY actually did put down that 3rd gateway. It is finishing right now. Just put it down a little bit later here.
Yep.
I think he kind of saw the aggression that was coming out from his opponent, decided to just kind of play it safe. Oh, but he keeps needing to cancel these forward pylons.
Yeah.
Yep. It's hard to build a secret pylon in a place where like lava is coming out of the ground all the time. There's a lot of light. Yeah. Oh no, the probe!
Aw, it does get caught, so it goes down. Taking a look, though, a bunch of units out for NonY. He's going to need to send another probe out there in just a second. In fact, he's already started constructing another one to make up for the one that he lost already.
Interesting, interesting. All right, so this is a pretty strong push coming in here for NonY. DeMusliM backing up into his base. He's making a bunker as well. These Immortals are going to be very strong. And this is actually what NonY is doing is a very common one base back from the beta. 2-gate Robo was incredibly popular, just making a lot of Immortals, making just a very strong sort of beefy army, and then pushing off one base with that and adding that 3rd gateway on there is going to certainly help as well. I don't know if he's going to be able to break up the ramp with this, but once again, you know, we're seeing some of these older builds returning on these smaller maps.
And DeMusliM going to sack an SCV there to see exactly what's up, and he sees the forward pylon as well, along with an additional warping of Zealots that tells him that the attack is imminent, and he immediately pulls all of his SCVs off the line, ready to go for these 2 bunkers. Is it going to be enough, though? NonY just waiting for this Observer to slowly trudge its way across the map and get him a little bit of vision of the high ground.
Yep, he might try to push a little bit here. We'll see how aggressive he wants to be. A common strategy to do back in the day was just to make this and then sit outside your opponent's base and just not let them down the ramp, because they're like, if you come down the ramp, you'll just force field their army in half. But he is going for that bunker. Yep. And it looks like he's going to be able to take it out no problem as well.
Yes,
Immortals in the front soaking a lot of damage here, and yep, he's going up the ramp, getting the Zealots in position.
Yeah, and it looks like DeMusliM swinging around. Oh, these SCVs that were set to repair going after the supply depot instead, because the bunker hadn't taken any damage quite yet. NonY starting to run it with more units now, overwhelming his opponent.
Oh, man.
Does DeMusliM have enough to hold on
but there's
here?
a drop at NonY's base. There's a drop at NonY's base as well, doing some damage, but will it be enough to equalize?
I don't know.
Probes coming off the line. I think we might have a bit of a base trade here. Oh, look at this. Actually, no Zealots left, but those 2 Immortals doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, they are. They have a good number of kills between them as it is.
Yep.
Supplies 35 to 20 right now in favor of NonY, but he is losing quite a bit of stuff back at home. DeMusliM not controlling this quite yet, though, actually going after a couple of gateways.
He's kept the probes alive, too. The probes are nearly all alive, whereas all the SCVs have died for DeMusliM. So even though he's floating away here, if he can get back and defend, and I really feel like he should just get back and defend right now, he'll be able to protect his base. And then, you know, what's DeMusliM going to do? Okay, he is actually going to just kill this command center, and once he does that, it's going to be very, very difficult for DeMusliM to come back. Command center dead, but there is another one building, I believe. And yeah, he just needs to actually get back and save that Nexus. Because, you know, as it is, if DeMusliM floats off, I don't think there's anything NonY can really do about that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna lose the Nexus.
Oh no.
He's gonna lose the Nexus, and all NonY needed to do was just come back, defend his base, and now he's in a position where his opponent is a little bit more mobile than him.
Right.
And we may actually have a stalemate on our hands, because I don't think that DeMusliM can kill NonY, and NonY obviously not able to kill DeMusliM because he has no way to make another Nexus here, and he actually needs to get in and kill this army. Okay, he is doing it now.
Yeah, but look at that.
This is interesting.
DeMusliM picks up and moves away. So
yeah,
let's take stock of the forces here. So 9 Marines, 1 Marauder, 3 Medevacts to 2 Immortals, 5 Stalkers, 1 Sentry. That is it.
So here's the thing. All right, how many command centers do we have out for DeMusliM?
None.
I believe none.
Really? Not a single one. No,
you're right.
He's revealed.
The mini-map is just so big. The buildings look so big on it because it's such a small map. Okay,
so you can see NonY can see everything. So
I think we've got a stalemate, because well, it all depends on how well the players control. Because here's the thing: if one of the players makes a bad decision and lets their buildings become exposed, they will lose the buildings and lose the games. But if they don't, if they just both kind of defend their buildings, I mean, if DeMusliM floats off somewhere, NonY just sits at his base, we could literally have a stalemate. We could have to redo game 1. It's a regame in the case of a tie.
I'm not the one who sets the rules. We'll have to ask Frank about that, I guess, if the time comes.
We actually, you know, I helped him make the rule set for this, and in the case of well, in the case of a tie, I mean, what do? You can't award it to anyone.
No,
so
of course. I was just curious. I mean, I didn't know, so.
Yeah, I don't know if we specifically wrote it down, but I'll make an executive decision right now.
Let's see here. NonY says, let's do it. All right, here it comes. So we're going to have some action.
All right.
Maybe. just going back and forth between the 2 armies. Here it comes.
Oh, he's coming up the ramp.
DeMusliM making his way up.
It's a
There's
fair
the
fight.
stim.
No force field. He's getting out of there immediately.
Moves away.
Yeah, I don't think NonY has what it takes to take down this army.
This is amusing.
Yep.
I will accept this for now. And no, he does not. There you go.
All right. All right. Yeah. So I think it's definitely going to be a draw here.
Yeah.
Should we Well, let's let them play it out for a little bit longer. We'll see how long they want to go for it. I think we're just going to see the final fight. I think we're going to see DeMusliM.
Let's see here. Yeah, DeMuslim's pretty much losing everything.
GG Re. Yeah, it was. All right, guys, here we go again. Game 1.2 between our two players here in Olde map tournament. And, oh, come on. No.
We do want to have a game. There we go.
All right. Oh, okay. Almost went to 1.3 there. All right, so here we go. On the left side of the map in the blue from TeamLiquid.net, it is NonY. And down at the bottom of the map in the red in the 6 o'clock position from Evil Geniuses, it is DeMusliM.
Yeah, an interesting game. The last one, DeMusliM was going for 1 base, 2 racks Medivacs, and NonY decided to do a 3-gate Robo, 2 Immortal push. NonY was successful, but he was getting counter-dropped at the same time, and it forced a draw out of our 2 players.
You know, though, NonY could have won that game. Hands down, he could have won the game, not after he lost his Nexus, of course, but before he lost his Nexus. After he killed all the SCVs of DeMusliM, he had plenty of time to get back there, had plenty of SCVs left. He could have killed the drop, and then that would have forced a GG from DeMusliM. So NonY actually messing up a little bit. He could have won that game early on, but you know what? I don't mind because that just means we get to see another game between these 2 awesome players. So that's okay, but kind of a weird situation, game 1. And I don't know what's going to happen if it happens again.
They did swap positions, and they swapped colors as well. So
oh, good.
Yes. So
hooray.
As only differences.
At least it's not a mirror match.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
Very true.
We have the potential for some in future runs, but I've got to say we've had pretty good race distribution moving forward in this this tournament so far.
Totally, man. We've had 2 Zergs advance. Who else have we had advance so far? We've had...
is it 2 Zergs and 2 Terrans so far?
I could have sworn there was a Protoss that advanced. Axlab. Yeah,
yes, he did.
So
two Zerg, 1 Protoss, 1 Terran.
And QXC beat who? Who did he play? A Zerg, wasn't it?
I'm not sure offhand, honestly.
Oh, man.
So I apologize, but...
Because this was... All right. Whatever.
Yeah, anyway, here
let's look at Wikipedia.
NonY going ahead, and looks like he's actually opting for a 2 Stalker build here, or 3 Stalker build, I'm sorry, as, of course, he'll be able to start he'll be able to start 1 Stalker right away, and then by the time the Stalker finishes, he'll be able to start 2 more on his gateways. Now, of course, DeMuslim's going to be able to make his way in here and see this. He himself has opened with Reapers. Yeah, Reaper expand possibly for DeMusliM. There are some 1 base Reaper builds as well that he could pursue, but in the current metagame, seeing a Reaper like this means an expand, but in Olde map tournament, or the old map tournament, if you want to pronounce it perfectly correctly, anything goes. Anything at all goes. Well, let's see here now, as DeMusliM did have a pretty good amount of money saved up. No, actually going for a Concussive Shell and a Marauder after this as a follow-up. Stalker already tearing after the SCV, and we do indeed actually have a Zealot and another Stalker started after this. So not quite the 3 Stalker opening, but close. Yep, still something you can put some pressure on your opponent with. This is actually a great decision by NonY. To pressure with 2 Stalkers and a Zealot early on. You can get there so fast on this map, it's going to be dangerous if this Reaper doesn't do any damage. We'll have to see how many probes he can kill. Oh, there's no units in the base right now. Uh-oh. No, that's actually pretty bad as the units are starting to retreat now, and DeMusliM, he's now killed 3 workers, even throws a grenade at the pylon, like, ha-ha! Oh, man. And he leaves. Reapers are good. And it will actually be an expand build from DeMusliM. Wow, he's actually going for it. Bold move here from our Terran player, expanding on Incineration Zone, fast expanding nonetheless. Bold move caught, and we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, no, here's the thing, is NonY is doing something that, again, was very popular back in the early days of StarCraft 2. 2-gate builds were so strong back in the day, and he will show us why in just a moment. You can make gateway units very early on. You use a lot of Chrono Boost on the 2 gateways, and just put simple pressure on your opponent. If they don't have a bunker, if they don't have anything like that going for them, you can kill off, good SCVs. You can kill, the Marines and Marauders that are there, force the SCVs to be pulled, and get a couple worker kills. We're going to see NonY try to do that. Oh, very nice job picking off 1 Marine before anything actually happens. This was intended to move into a 4 barracks build, but already a bunch of SCVs pulled off the line. Are the Marauders going to last long enough? One of them very low in health. one of them finally does fall, the Stalkers will be able to kite back against the SCVs for quite some time.
There we go.
And that Zealot can stand in there forever, so some pretty good pressure put on here by NonY as well. In fact, his opponent down to just 19, now 17 supply.
Yep, that's right. You can see just how strong these two gateway builds are. This is awesome. It's like watching, it is like watching a game from a couple of years ago here too. This is one of the reasons why you saw Terran start to do safer expands, like for instance, let's see if he does damage here, but for instance, the 1-Rax gases expand with an early bunker.
Yeah.
Keeps you safe against things like this normally, but NonY came out so quickly, even that would have been a bit risky.
Yeah, and you know, we're used to much larger maps where it takes so much longer for opponents to get across the map that you just can't reinforce units out of gateways and hope to get there in time, but in this, you certainly can. There it is, GG, NonY taking game number 1 of this best of 5.